Hi guys, welcome to my first ever live stream. Hope you're all keeping well. Yeah, very exciting for me, as I say, to do my debut live stream, and I'm looking forward to talking to you all on that. Hope you've all had a nice day. And you'll have to excuse me, like if to say one or two any mistakes or anything, because it's my first, as I say, my first ever live stream. So I'm a little bit nervous and that, So I'm just getting accustomed to StreamYard and that, and the the controls and that. So just get myself here. Right. So the main thing we're going to talk about is, as I said in the thumbnail, is horror movies. So if you've got any questions, like your favorite horror movies and that, you've seen any good movies lately, let me know. Yeah. So I've got something very exciting to show you later on as well, and that arrived yesterday in the post from the movies. The film studio who made Crucible of the Vampire. So I've got that to show you later on. Yeah. So just hang a second. The film studio who made Crucible of the Vampire. So I've got that to show you later on. Yeah. So just hang a second. The film studio who made Crucible of the Vampire. So So I'm just waiting for the comments to come up now. Yeah, so as I say, hope you all had a nice day, and it's great to be doing my first ever live show. I'm just in the StreamYard screen at the moment, so I'm just waiting to see some comments show up. Just bear with me, guys. Just as I say, with it being my first ever live stream, I'm a little bit green. Hiya, Peace. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I'm just having a little bit of, what's the name at the moment? It's a little bit of a problem trying to get, because I'm in two screens. I'm in the StreamYard screen, and I'm also in the YouTube screen. So I can see your comments in the YouTube interface, but I can't actually see your comments in the stream, in the actual StreamYard screen. So if anybody got any suggestions how I can get your comments to show up in the StreamYard screen, I'd be very grateful. Hang on a sec. Yeah, so as I say, the comments aren't showing up in the StreamYard screen. So if anybody can give me some tips on how to remedy this, I'm just going down to the settings. Oh, hang on a sec. I've just changed it to a public. Right, I've just changed it to public, so hopefully your comments will start showing up. It's an absolute pain trying to get this right. I can see all your comments now, but as I say, I'm having difficult. I can't see your comments in the comments part on the right. I see all the comments are coming in thick and fast now. Hang on a sec. Oh, bingo. Oh, yeah. I can see us all now. Hiya, Matt. How are you? Yeah, hope you've had a nice day. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Yeah, I had to sort of like amend the settings in the StreamYard, you know, the default settings and that. So as I say, you'll have to excuse me. It would have been my first time. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to go through the comments now. Hiya, Peace. There's 2 streams coming up. Right, hang on. Get rid of that YouTube one. Right, I've just got the main StreamYard screen up now. So I hope that remedies the situation. You're okay now, Pete, with that? Hiya, Peace. Yeah, I can see your comment now. There should be comments under the stream comments you've got up now. Yeah, as I say, they're showing up now. Yeah, so as I say, I went into the settings and changed it to public. Yeah, you've got all these little things in StreamYard. I'm trying to sort of like get used to them and that. So as I say, it would have been my first shot. I'd say you'll have to excuse me, like, yeah, but not being perfect and that. But hopefully, if I decide to do any more, I'll be able to do it like virtually in my sleep. Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to go through all the comments then, guys. Hi, Peace. You should have 3 tabs, comments, settings, and something else. Yeah, I went into the tabs piece and I changed it to public. So now I can see you. I can see your comments here now. Yeah, thank God. Yeah, tap the comments, done that. Hiya, Carl. Yeah, here at last. I know. Yeah. As I say, like last time when I tried it out a couple of months ago, it was a sound, but now it's getting the blooming comments to show up. Yeah, but I've closed the window. I've closed the window of YouTube and that, so I've just got the bare StreamYard window up, which is, I presume, that is the right way to go about it. Yeah, thanks. Oh, they're coming in thick and fast now. Hello. Can you do a slasher movie special? Yeah, I've got that planned in a future videos. Yeah, love me slasher movies and that. There's fantastic ones from the 80s, you know, real good ones and that. So I've got quite a few slasher movies in my collection. So as I say, that's and that will be in a forthcoming video. Yeah, love me slasher movies. Yeah, I've just got the Scream franchise now and that. I've got to go through them again because I forget most of the stories in them, yeah. But I've got to be honest with you, I wasn't too keen on the latest one. I did not like it at all. Yeah, it's a kind of a Marmite movie. A lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it, but it wasn't for me, unfortunately. Yeah, but there you go. I'll just go through the comments now. Sounds great, Alan. Yeah, all right. Cheers, Peace. Yeah, and I hope to have you as a guest. All going well. If this goes good tonight, you're quite welcome to come on my channel and that, you know, and a couple of other YouTubers and that. So I'll send all the invites out anyway when the time comes for me to do another live stream. So I'm just breaking myself in now at the moment. Obviously, as you can see, getting used to all the controls and that. So yeah. Cheers, Peace. Yeah, I definitely have you as a guest because you've been very good. You had me on your channel a couple of weeks ago, and you've invited me on again. So yeah, you can definitely come on my channel. Yeah, thanks. Hi, Peace. Yeah, no worries, mate. Everyone has a first stream. You're doing brilliantly. Oh, cheers, Peace. Yeah, thanks. Doing my best. All right, Carl. Nice to see you. Best of luck, Alan. You're doing brilliant. And 11 in the chat. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, cheers, Carl. Yeah. And congratulations to you as well on your 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. Well done, mate. Yeah. Very pleased for you. You've got a great channel there, Carl. Yeah. Keep up the good work, mate. Yeah. Hi, Stacey. Okay. As I say, I'm sort of like I was all fingers and thumbs to start off with and that, but I'm gradually sort of like acclimatizing myself to all the controls and that. It's like everything really new, isn't it? It's sort of like even when you're going to a new job, learning all the procedures and that. So I'm sort of like breaking myself in, as it were. Yeah. Nice to see you, Stace. Anyway, yeah. Right. Carl saying to hi, Peter there. Oh, hello, Sophie. Nice to have you along. Well done on getting over 500 subs. Yeah, I never envisaged when, as I said in the video, when I first started about 2 years ago, around about the pandemic, when the pandemic first kicked in, I never dreamed I'd one day be talking about having 500 followers on YouTube. You know, I thought I'd like take the plunge, and you know, while at the boredom of the pandemic and the lockdown, I thought I'd have a go in between me writing me books. I thought I'd have a go at doing a live stream and that. So as I say, I took the plunge in that, and I'm very glad I did, because I've made some fantastic friends on here. You know, and I absolutely love talking about movies. I could talk about movies till the cows go home, till the cows come home. I used to talk about them in the school playground, you know, me mates at school and that, and with people I've worked with and that. You know, my number one topic is movies. Always collected movie magazines, especially the horror magazines. You know, the and if you're old enough to remember the Hammer House of Horror. Famous Monsters, the Film Man by Forrest J. Ackerman. That was a big must buy on my list. Yeah, and I get The Dark Side, you know, and Alan Bryce, he does a brilliant job at editing that. Yeah, The Dark Side and that. And I get the Scream magazine now and again, but The Dark Side's the number one horror magazine horror magazine for me at the moment. So I never miss an issue. Alan does some great content, and he's also done some real good publications as well, you know, specials, which I've done a review of on my channel. Yeah, so there you go. Just go down to the comments again and just get a couple more people in. Carl Todd, Hellraiser Revelations is my favourite. Oh, you like that one, did you, Carl? Yeah, I wasn't. I must admit, I wasn't too keen on that. The only out of all the Hellraiser movies that I've watched, I do like the first one the best of all. Hellraiser 2, 3, yeah, not crazy about them. And then, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the series went down and down. Oh, by the way, can you all hear me okay? Because I'm using me microphone with me Logitech webcam. So I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. Let me know if there's any problems with the sound. Yeah. Right. On to the next comments. Hiya, Gary. Gary, the Blu-ray addicts here. You okay? Thanks for coming along. Hiya, Carl. How many movies do you think you have in your collection? Oh, now you're asking, Carl. I'd have to do I couldn't even do a rough estimate. I must have, especially the horror movies. They must outnumber my collection by, I'd say, what, 90% of my movies are horror. I've got a fantastic one through the post today. It's not a horror movie, but it's one of my all-time favorites, and that is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Oh, I mean, that is my all-time favorite Western. I'm not a great fan of Westerns, but that is a fantastic Western. I first watched that in 1976, and I was completely engrossed from start to finish. Oh, Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach, Lee Van Cleef, fantastic. And when I saw it was out on 4K, I said to myself, I've got to have that. I've got to have that. So it just arrived today. So I'm going to do an unboxing of that in a future video. Yeah. So yeah, it's like getting back to Carl's question. Oh yeah, I'd have to do it. I'd have to sit down one rainy afternoon, and do accounts, DVD by DVD. And also, if you'll know, I've got like box sets which contain individual movies as well. So I'm going to have to do that as well. I'm going to have to go through all my box sets and, like, you know, the indicator and counts. There's usually about 4 movies in them, and do accounts, you know, of every single one. But I can see me doing it in the future. Let's say when I get time, sort of like from me writing and that, and making me videos, I'll sit down and go through them all and do it. I sound like a stock room man, don't I? Yeah, do stock taking. Yeah, I'll count them all. Thanks for that, Carl. Right. Stephen Horton. I wish they re-released the Pan Book of Horror. Have you read Dark Forces 1980 anthology book? I have read that, Stephen. Yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, huge fan of those horror anthologies. Yeah, they were a big staple of the younger years. I always remember going to Lake Street Library in Birkenhead, and the first shelf I'd make for would be the horror section, and you'd have them all lined up on the shelves, and a lot of them were, you know, must admit, pretty tatty and dog-eared, you know, because he'd been borrowed out a lot. But I also love the Fontana Book of Horror. Loved them as well, you know. Oh yeah, the Pan Book of Horror stories are fantastic reads and that, you know. And it was always my ambition to have one of my own short stories in those, but it never came to fruition, unfortunately, because they died out and that. Then he was sort of like rebranded a couple of years ago under the, you know, as you just said, the Dark Forces label and that. But since then, there's only really been Stephen Jones's Mammoth Book, the best book of horror, Mammoth Book of Horror series. Now they're quite good in that. Yeah. So yeah, love the Pan Book of Horror stories. Right. Hi, Stacey. What's your favourite body horror movie? Now. Well, the one that immediately springs to mind is a Basket Case, because that was very, very much bodily centered. What happened? This horrible thing, like this twin stuck to his side, Belial. So I suppose you could call that a kind of a body horror. I know there's another one called The Human Centipede, which Jordan of Movie Worm reviewed. I haven't seen that one. It sounds quite a sickly movie, actually. Yeah. So not the sort of movie you could watch when you're having your dinner and that, yeah. To judge by Jordan's description, but Basket Case. If you say about the Saw movies, the torture and that, the traps and that, I suppose they're kind of body horror movies and that. But I'd have to really sit down and think if there's any more body horror movies and that. There's one called From Beyond. By H.P. Lovecraft. I think Jeffrey Combs was in that. That was a kind of a body horror. I'd have to do a video on me body horror movies. Yeah. Thanks for that question, Stace. Carl Todd, how you play, guy? Hi, Peace. That would be fantastic, Alan. You're always welcome, mate. Whenever you're free. Yeah, cheers, Peace. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll definitely have you on as a guest in that. And I enjoyed me spell on your on your last when you done your live stream, you invited me on. I really enjoyed it and that. So obviously the more I get into it, the more I get used to all the controls and that. I hope to be doing them regularly. Yeah. So yeah, thanks, Peace. Yeah. Oh, here's my cousin Casey. Hiya, Katie Stanley. Okay, thanks for coming along, Case. Yeah. This is me to everybody. This is me cousin Casey. So she said she might drop by in that. So she loves the horror movies as well and that. So hiya, Casey. I hope you've had a nice day, okay, as well. Have you been watching any good horror movies lately? I know I've just sent you the list of recommended ones. Especially check out Superhost and Frailty. They are both fantastic movies, Case. Yeah, they really are. And of course, Last Night in Soho. That is a brilliant, brilliant movie. Absolutely love everything about that. I love the 60s setting. I love the story. I love the ghostly aspect to it. Oh, fantastic movie. Yeah. So check out Last Night in Soho. Yeah. I know a lot of people do like that movie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to watch that again soon. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. So yeah. Again, Kate, nice to have you along. Yeah. Hiya, Peace. What's your favourite piece of Cushing film? Now you're asking. There are so many I love piece of cushioning. He ranks right up there with my all-time favourite horror actors. He's a fantastic actor and a very, very nice man in private as well, by all accounts. Oh yeah, I mean the ones that immediately spring to mind would be The Curse of Frankenstein from 1957. And the Dracula was in America. It was called The Horror of Dracula. So he plays Van Helsing in Dracula, and then of course he plays the Baron in the first time he played Baron Frankenstein in The Curse of Frankenstein. And he's actually more evil. Well, of course, if you've seen the movie, he's actually more evil than the monster because he's a kind of a serial killer. He stops at nothing to achieve his aim of creating the perfect man. Oh yeah. I'd say another favorite piece of cushion movie of mine would be From Beyond the Grave, which he plays like a kind of a demonic shopkeeper, and he's got this like hat on. He's smoking this pipe, and he's in charge of this shop. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. And whoever people come into the shop, and everybody that comes into the shop buys an item, and they try to rob them, do something bad. It sort of like rebounds onto them from the item, whatever they buy. It could be a mirror, it could be a statue. That's a great movie, From Beyond the Grave. Oh, there's so many wonderful Peter Cushing movies. Yeah, he made a lot of non-horror movies as well. Of course, he was in Star Wars as well. Yeah, so yeah, so if it was pushed to name really special favorites, I'd say The Curse of Frankenstein, Dracula, From Beyond the Grave, and then you've got the other ones as well. What he was in, where he played like a kind of a Quaker. I think it was The Vampire Lovers. Yeah, he was good in that, and he got like the other ones as well. He made the kind of like sci-fi ones. Like I know he was in 1984, the TV series, and that. Oh yeah, he's a fantastic actor, Peter Cushing. And Frankenstein must be destroyed. Now he's even more evil in that one than he was in The Curse of Frankenstein, really, really vicious, mean. Oh yeah, real badass in that. He really is. Yeah. Oh yeah. But God rest his soul. The horror movie world's a lot, you know, it's a lot less enjoyable, you know, without his presence and that, you know, because whenever he was in a movie, we'd sit, like me and my parents and that, we'd sit glued to the screen when we saw a movie, A Piece of Cushioning and Christopher Lee, you know, we'd be sit Monday night. They used to show them at Point with Fear at 10:30 on a Monday night, and we saw a Piece of Cushion in the movie. Oh yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Oh yeah, God rest his soul. Oh, very, very fine act, and I say a genuinely nice man. Yeah, much missed. Right. Brian Gilson's here. Hello, Brian. Hi, Alan. Hope you are well. Good luck on your first stream. Thanks, Brian, Mace. Yeah, thanks for coming along, Mace. Just scroll down to some more comments. Hiya, Peace. What are some of your favourite Argento films? Oh, easy. Suspiria, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, my top two. Yeah. Oh, love Suspiria. Lovely colour. Oh, great story. And The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, fantastic. It's got one of my all-time favourites, female actresses in that, Susie Kendall. Oh yeah, it's a fantastic, two fantastic films. Yeah, absolutely love them. So they're my two favourites Argentos: The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and the other one, Suspiria. Oh yeah, of course he made many other ones and that. Tenebrae, that's a good one. Yeah, so I hope to do a review, a video review of the Dario, my top 10 Dario Argento movies. Yeah, fantastic director. Hiya, Carl. Carl's asking, any new books planned for the future? Loving the short stories. Oh, thanks, Carl. Yeah. I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to take the plunge and do a novel, a full-length novel. Now, without giving too much away about it, I've started doing a rough draft in that, but I've got to get all the characters sorted out in that, and I've got to get the ending in that. I know some authors just write in that, and they don't know what the ending's going to be. But yeah, I think it's good to have a good solid idea of where you're going to, and so that when you're writing, you don't come to a dead end in that. But then, of course, the ending can change. You could start writing a story, and this has happened many times with writers. You can start a story, and then the ending actually turns out to be something what you never envisaged when you first started writing the story. Yeah. So as I say, I've got a rough draft of a novel now, so I'm sort of tinkering around with that at the moment. I don't think I'll be doing any short story collections in the near future, but what I will be doing, I hope to be publishing soon a horror movie quiz book. Which is, if you love your horror movies and that, you love quizzes, I think it'd be right up your street and that. So I'm hoping to get that published soon, as soon as I can. I've still got a little bit of work to do on it and that. But yeah, so I said, love to have a novel published and that. Yeah, just got a swig of water. Yeah, well, thanks again, Carl, for popping in. Hiya, Brian. Do you like Salem's Lot? I love Salem's Lot. The 1979 one, though, not the rubbishy remakes. It's my favourite vampire film alongside Fright Night. Fright Night's a fantastic movie, Brian. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Salem's Lot. Oh, the best horror TV series I've ever seen. David Soul's fantastic, in the role of Ben Mears. And then you've got James Mason. And then you've got Barlow. Oh, horrible vampire. One of the most ferocious looking vampires after Christopher Lee I've ever seen on the screen. He kind of, well, you'll know if you've seen the film. He's like, he's reminiscent of Nosferatu in the old vampire movie, the old Max Schreck movie. Oh, yeah. And the part where he bursts in on the family, into the house and that, and he just rises up. And oh, yeah, it's a fantastic movie, Salem's Lot. Yeah. I didn't like the remake, though, with Rutger Hauer. I didn't like that at all. And I didn't like the very, very substandard sequel, Return to Salem's Lot. But the 1979 one with David Soul, it's one of my all-time, well, I think it's my all-time favourite horror TV movie. Yes, Salem's Lot. And I love the novel as well by Stephen King. And if you read the novel, you'll probably know that Barlow in the novel, he's much more of an urbane. He's not as monstrous looking. He's more like Dracula, dark and sinister and that, with a human face and that. He hasn't got this grotesque face. But I like both versions. I like the version in Salem's Lot, and I like in the novel Salem's Lot, and I also like the movie version. Yeah, fantastic story. Yeah, love it. Nice. Carl Todd, I got Death Screams today. I've heard bad things about it, but I don't care. Well, I haven't heard of that movie called Death Screams. I'll have to check that out. Pete's asking me, what are some of your favourite Arrow titles? Or too numerous to mention, Pete. I think I've got more Arrow. I think I've got more Arrow titles than I've got any other label. Yeah. Oh yeah, fantastic Arrow. Yeah. Oh, there's just that many. You know. I've got. I mean, actually, when I first started collecting Blu-rays, the Arrow ones were some of the first I started picking up from HMV. Yeah. I like. There's one I like. I like Spider Baby starring Lon Chaney Jr. That's a good Arrow release. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that one or not. He plays like this, like he's quite old in it and that, and he's got this like weird family, this dysfunctional family, and these I think the landowners or estate agents, do you want to evict him and his family from the house, and of course all hell breaks loose and that. That's a good one. Spider Baby. Yeah. Oh, there's loads of good Arrow titles and that, you know. Yeah, so I've got to try and get myself. I'm running out of space at the moment, so I've got to try and get myself some new shelving to put all my all my movies on. But you know, I think I've said this. I think I said it to Carl. I do not like doing. I'm not one of your greatest handymen. You know, messing around with nails and hammers and that. And because a lot of these DVD units, you have to put them all together yourself, and you get this big bag of screws and nuts and that. I mean, you know, I've got no patience. Like, you know, even putting wallpaper up, you know, I start saying, you know, I've had enough of this and that. I lose my patience and that. So if I do get one, I know it's going to be hard. If I do get some shelf, and I hope it's already self-assembled. So if anybody out there knows of a company that does already self-assembled, DVD cases, let me know. I know my mum got one from John Lewis, but it was mostly for CDs and that. But as I say, if anybody knows of any company that does, you know, I've looked on Amazon, I can't find any. So if anybody knows of any firm that does already assembled DVD storage, just let me know. Gary the Blu-ray addict, is there any film you want that has never had a Blu-ray, or DVD edition? Now let me think. I'd have to think about that one. Is there any film you want that has never had a Blu-ray or DVD edition? But I know there are some movies. There's some movies been released on DVD that I wish they'd have a Blu-ray. You know, you'd have a Blu-ray release. You know, there's one that starred, I think it was made in the late '60s, stars Haley Mills, and the other guy is Hywell Bennis. Yeah, that's a good. I can't remember the title on that. I think it was made about 1969. That deserves a Blu-ray release. Yeah. But oh yeah, that's a good question. That actually, is there any film you want that has never had a Blu-ray or DVD edition? There's actually one on there's one on Amazon called Drown in the Clown. I don't know if you've seen that one. I've just seen trailers of it because I thought to myself, I'll get the Blu-ray of that. There's something about this ghost or something in this office drowning the clown. So watch out. I don't know if it's still on Amazon Prime or not. So I'd like to see that released on a Blu-ray or DVD. Yeah, Drowning the Clown, it's called. I think it was made about 2 years ago. Yeah. Right, get to the next comments. Carl's greeting Gary there. Killer Elite Group fan. Hey man, thanks for coming along, mate. Carl Todd, Josie Wales is my favorite Western. Yeah, one of my all-time favorite Clint Eastwood Westerns, Carl. Fantastic. I've got the Blu-ray of that. Love Clint Eastwood. Yeah, he's made some fantastic Westerns over the years. And of course, I love him in the Dirty Harrys as well. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Killer Elite Group fan. I just thought I'd give you a public announcement that Film Flick has been bad-mouthing loads of YouTubers. Oh, I can't understand people like that start bad-mouthing YouTubers. I mean, what are they gaining out of it? You know, there must be something wrong with them, you know, to carry on like that. You know, yeah, I disapprove of things like that. Hi, Carl. What's your favourite horror franchise? Now I'd have to think about that one. There's so many. I love Halloween. I love Frankenstein. The Frankenstein films with Boris Karloff. You know, excuse me. I love Friday the 13th, Dracula, Christopher Lee series, the Hammer movies. Yeah, but if it was pushed, Carl, to pick one modern one modern franchise, I would have to say Halloween. Yeah, especially the first one. Oh, I think that's one of the greatest horror movies ever made. You know, the one that was made in 1978 on a very, very low budget. Oh, yeah, I love Halloween. As to see, I must admit, though, the last couple of movies, especially Halloween Kills, really didn't do it for me. You know, the first couple. And another thing as well, while we're on the subject of Halloween, I didn't like the way they done with, you know, when they done the 2018 one. I didn't like the way they just called it Halloween. They should have called it, well, they should have made it like a different name and that. And I didn't like the way they ignored the movies. You know what, the movie after Halloween, he ignored the part where Laurie Strode gets rushed to hospital. Halloween 2. I mean, Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, they would have made a great one bumper movie, you know, because that like Halloween 2 followed on directly from Halloween 78, you know. And I think like for me, in my opinion, they're the best Halloween movies in the whole franchise. I must admit, I haven't revisited the Halloween 4, Halloween 5 and 6s for a while. I've got those in my collection. I'll actually revisit them, but I don't like Halloween 3 at all. You know, I'm sorry. Well, for one thing, Michael Myers wasn't in it. I didn't like the story at all. Yeah, so I didn't like that. But yeah, so yeah, Carl, if it was pushed for a favorite modern horror franchise, I'd say the Halloween franchise, closely followed by modern again, Friday the 13th. Yeah. Gary the Blu-ray addict. Hi, Carl. Stephen Davis, did you pick up Brotherhood of Satan? I did. I didn't like it, Steve, unfortunately. So I flogged it on eBay. Yeah, I wanted to like it. It's because when I first saw the blurb and that, and you know, description, I thought to myself, that's right up my street. Because well, as you'll all know, you've been following my videos. I love me 70s horror movies. That was the prime decade. Me growing up as as a teenager, the 70s. Yeah, Hammer, Amicus. You know, companies like that. But yeah, I didn't like the Brotherhood of Satan at all. Moving down. Hi, Peace. Have you collected any network releases? I've got a couple of them. Yeah, I've got a couple of comedies. I've got Man About the House. I love that one. Yeah, and it's the one with I think this Joan Collins, where she has the demonic kid. I Don't Want to Be Born. I think that's a network release. That's quite a good movie. I don't know if you've seen that one from 1975. It stars Ralph Bates as well. Yeah, I've got a couple of networks in my collection and that. Yeah, great company. Pete's asking me again, favorite TV shows. Well, I presume you mean modern TV shows, do you, Pete, or well, general? Favorite TV shows. Trying to think if there's any horror. I know there's quite a few horror TV shows on Netflix and that and streamer, but I'm not really that much into streaming. Although I'm subscribed to Amazon Prime, I'm not really a fanatic on streaming, to be honest with you. But I have seen. I know they've made a Chucky. They made a Chucky TV series, haven't they? And they did make one. Scream did it just last for season 1? Yeah, but getting back to my favorite at the moment, at the moment, I think there's a lot of rubbish on the telly. You know, what do you get on Saturday night? You get the quiz shows and that. You get what's names come back, Britain's Got Talent and that. The X Factor used to be on, but yeah, favorite TV shows at the moment. I'm trying to think of one that I really like. I can't. You know, yeah, yeah. I can't think of one at the moment because there's that much rubbish on the telly. If going back though. Going back to the 70s, I used to watch the what's names a lot, the detective series and that, Kojak, Columbo, Charlie's Angels, and Starsky and Hutch. I used to watch them in my teens and that. So if it was asked in the 70s what your favorite TV shows were, I'd probably say them. Yeah. Comments are coming in thick and fast now, guys. Just trying to catch up with them all. Gary the Blu-ray addict says, have you a favorite Blu-ray label such as Arrow or 88 Films? Love them both. Yeah, I love Screen Factory as well. I love Indicator. I've got a couple of Indicator box sets. I'll just take a swig. Sure, it's only water. Yeah, Love Indicator, Scream Factory, Criterion. I've got a couple of Criterion and that. Yeah, so I haven't really got a special favourite. I like Arrow and 88 and etc. all equally, because I think they do some fantastic releases. And long may they continue. Yeah, fantastic labels. Just scrolling down here, guys. Just bear with me. What do you make of film grain? Well, they say, don't they, that if a 4K or a very good produced Blu-ray shows film grain, that means they've done a good job of the movie and they've really enhanced, you know, every single feature of that movie. So I must admit, I don't like a lot of grain in a movie where, you know, every other scene's full of grain and that. I don't really like that, but I don't mind a little bit of grain, you know, sort of like, you know, if most of the 99.9% of the movie, you know, is good, you know, good picture quality, I don't mind a little bit of film grain, yeah, but not too much. Carl's saying, Alan, picture and sound is 100% fantastic on the big TV. Oh, great, Carl. Yeah, yeah. I was a little bit worried, you know, Carl, about, because if you remember last time when I tried to do what you call a dummy run of going live, the sound, I couldn't get the sound right. But I've got a new Logitech camera now, so I'm using the microphone purely from that, and that was one of the things that was uppermost in my mind when I began the live stream. I hope to God this microphone and the camera is all right. So that's great, Carl. Yeah, let me know if there's any faults at all, you know, and I'll rectify it. Yeah, well, that's good to hear, Carl. Thanks very much. Peace. What is your favorite horror film that's released over the last 10 years? Oh, my favorite horror film of the last 10 years. Oh, again, I was trying to think. Oh, there's been a few. Like, I mean, like, I like the Wolf Creek movies, but I'm not sure if they just sort of like, they made just outside the decade. I like the Wolf Creek. I like the Terrifier, you know, Art the Clown. Yeah. Trying to think. Last Night in Soho, like that one. I didn't really like, as I said before, I didn't really like Halloween Kills. I've watched a lot of low budget horror movies and that that haven't, you know, some people, well, a lot of people don't know about, like Humpty Dumpty, you know, movies like that. And some of those low budget movies, you know, are better than these big these big blockbuster movies, what they rave over. I mean, I've watched some great little low budget horror movies, and I've said, like, you know, that, you know, I mean, you know, some people rave over these big blockbusters. I mean, these little low budget movies, you know, they wipe the floor with them. Yeah. But yeah, Last Night in Soho, yeah, fantastic movie. Yeah. Didn't like Halloween Kills. But yeah, I'd have to really think about that, because I've watched that many horror movies. Carl Todd, The Relic is a great movie, not the monster one, the other one about the elderly woman, daughter and granddaughter. Great movie. I haven't seen that one, Carl. I'll have to check that one out, The Relic. Yeah. Thanks for saying about that. Hiya, Jordan. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming along, mate. Yeah, great to have you along. Yeah. Hey, Alan, I'm going to the cinema now to see the new Nicolas Cage film, so I'm sorry I can't stay, but just pop by to say I hope your stream goes well. Oh yeah, thanks, Jordan. Yeah, and all going well while I'm on again. You know, you'll be able to spend a little bit more time, you know, in the live stream. Yeah. So enjoy the movie anyway, and thanks for popping by. Nice to talk to you. Gary, the Blu-ray addict, I've got to go now, but good luck on your live stream. I'm a big fan of your channel and your videos, and I will definitely catch up on this live. Take care. Oh, thanks, Gary, mate. Yeah, thanks for popping in and saying hello. Yeah, and I hope to talk to you again in you know, any future live streams I decide to do. Yeah, thanks. Scroll down. Hi, Pete. Favorite Universal monster film? Oh, the one that springs to mind is Frankenstein, 1931, starring Boris Karloff. That was, I've said this many times on my channel, that is the movie that first got me into horror. You know, I became a big Universal monster fan when I used to watch these movies on our old black and white telly in the late 60s and that. The very first horror movie I saw was Boris Karloff in Frankenstein, 1931. Then The Bride of Frankenstein, that cemented me love even more of Karloff as the monster. He only made 3 appearances, the Frankenstein monster. He starred in Son of Frankenstein in 1939. But my favorite Universal monster movie of all time is without a doubt Frankenstein, 1931. Impeccable movie. Oh, great story. Karloff is always fantastic as the monster. Colin Clive is great as the Mad Doctor. He changed his Christian name actually to Henry. Don't know why they done that. From Victor. He was called Victor in the original novel. If you read the original novel, you know he's called Victor. Oh yeah, great performances all around. Very atmospheric movie. I love the part in the windmill as well. The windmill going round with he's burning them, and you know all the villagers around the windmill, and the windmill's on fire and that, and the monster throw at the last minute. Excuse me. The monster throws Henry Frankenstein out, and he lands on one of the sails on the windmill, and the thing goes slowly down. And that, oh yeah, fantastic, yeah. They were the movies that got me, and that was the movie that got me into horror. You know, seeing Frankenstein's monster, you know, storming through the woodland and that, the creepy woodland and that, and later on in the early 40s, The Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney Jr. Absolutely love Universal, and then of course Hammer started in the late 50s and that when I started seeing the horror movies in colour, that made me even more of a horror fan, you know, because I love Christopher Lee's Dracula. But getting back to the Universal, I've got a big book on Universal movies there, and love that. I love the vampire movies. And talking of vampires, I've got something to show you all here. Now, you'll know that I've reviewed this movie on my channel, Crucible of the Vampire. Fantastic movie, really is. And the producer, Amanda Murray, she liked my video and she sent me a box of goodies here. So I'm just going to show you them. I'm going to do a review of this, a full video review. I'll just give you the preview anyway. So here's the box, guys. I'll just show you. I'll just open it for you. So you've got the graphic novel, Crucible of the Vampire. Sorry about the shine, guys. I've got my ring light on. There's Scarlet, the main vampire. Oh, it's a fantastic book. This, it really is. Yeah, it's like the movie in book form. Every aspect of the movie, graphic novel. Well, if you buy the Marvel graphic novels like Spider-Man and Batman, you know you'll have a pretty good idea of the layout of this. Yeah. Oh yeah, Amanda, you go along to it at a channel, you know, give you support and that. Fantastic company. So I was really made up when she got in touch with me and that, and sent me this gorgeous book, you know, really made up with it. Yeah, so they are Crucible of the Vampire, and now I've got something else to show you as well. She also sent me some posters here, guys. I'll just show you the posters. Some of these have been signed by the cast and the director. One of these is going to be given away in the competition. Go. So if you come second in the competition, you'll get one of these posters as well as your £10 voucher. But I'm going to do a full review. I'm going to do a full review of this in the one of my upcoming videos and that. And as I say, really grateful to Amanda, you know, for sending me this fantastic box of goodies and that. So I'll do a video of it, and fantastic movie company. Yeah, so go along and give your support. She really deserves it and that. And I just absolutely love this movie, Crucible of the Vampire. If you haven't seen it, guys, I highly recommend. You know, you add to your collection. It's a fantastic movie. Very Hammer-esque as well. You know, fantastic. It really is. Yeah, and the colour's lovely as well. Really is. Yeah, by Ghost Dog Films. Yeah, so they're on YouTube and they've got their own website. But as I say, I'll talk more about it in the full length, full video review. Yeah. So thanks again, Amanda. Really appreciate that. Yeah. Nice. Right. So just catch up with the comments now. Stephen Davis says the Creeping Flesh needs a Blu-ray release. I'd certainly second that. Yeah, although I do believe actually that it was It was released as a as part of a 2-movie Blu-ray in America, The Creeping Flesh, yeah. So, but yeah, we'd like to see Arrow do a version of that, yeah, starring Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, yeah, great movie. Stephen Hooton is asking, what's your favourite Italian horror movie? Well, as I said before, I love Suspiria. I love the Bird with the Crystal Plumage. There's a couple of Mario Bava. He's made some good movies and that. Yeah, and you've got like the Living Dead movies as well. You know, I hope to do a video of my favourite Italian horror movies. Yeah, at some time in the future. Carl's saying 17 in the chat, Alan, so please, yeah. So am I, Carl, yeah. Hiya, Peace. Yeah, Playtendo guy's asking me, what horror films could you not get into? Oh, there's so many. As you'll know, if you've been watching my videos, I've been pretty scathing with some of the horror movies that I haven't been able to get into. In fact, I watched one just last night called Shadows, and it sent me to sleep. There was not one bit of horror in it. I got it in Asda on Monday, and I watched it last night. Oh, was I bored? I'm not even going to do a review of it. But if you go into Asda and see that on the shelf, don't buy a piece. It's a load of rubbish. Yeah, it's just about this elderly woman and her 2 daughters in this bloody house, this house in the country, virtually doing nothing. You know, oh yeah, horrible, awful movie. Yeah. But yeah, there's been quite loads of horror movies I haven't been able to get into. But I'm going to do a review. I'm going to do another video with that. Maybe the top 10 worst horror movies I've ever seen. Yeah. So stay tuned for that one. But there's been a lot of rubbish made lately. You know, it surprises some of these screenplays. They get accepted. You know, and put into production. Oh yeah, awful movies. There's been loads of horror movies, but I haven't been able to get to. But I've tossed on eBay. You know, again, there's another one I watched recently. Yeah, remember that I showed you the 2 the Easter Bunny movies I picked up. I watched the Easter Bunny Massacre, and that was a load of rubbish as well. So I put that on eBay. I've got the Easter Bunny to watch. So that was another one I couldn't get into. The Easter Bunny Massacre. Oh yeah. As I say, I don't know how half of these movies, these scripts get accepted and that. They're just dire. They really are. I wasn't too keen on Hereditary either and Midsummer. But then again, I know a lot of people like them. So they're like Marmite movies, really. Stephen Davis, who is your favourite Hammer actress? Easy. Veronica Carlson, who very, very tragically passed away recently. Yeah, the blonde girl. Yeah, she was in there. Frankenstein. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. Lovely looking girl and a very, very nice lady as well. You know, she used to go to all the horror conventions and that. And Christopher Lee, she actually got Christopher Lee to pose for her on, on the set of Dracula's Risen from the Grave. He posed for her, yeah. So she very, very talented consummate artist, Veronica, and she drew his portrait in that. And oh yeah, lovely looking girl, and I say very, very nice lady. She was in a couple of other Hammer horror movies as well. The Horror of Frankenstein, she was in that. Yeah, oh yeah, lovely, lovely looking girl, great actress in that. And as I say, we recently lost her. But oh yeah, I always love Veronica Carlson, fantastic actress. Yeah, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, which was very, very sad because the very, very nefarious Baron knifes her in the stomach with a scalpel. So yeah, so she was great in that as well. Yeah. We have a part where the Baron, he sort of like he mentally tortures her by saying, "I'd like some more coffee, please, Anna." Always a swine in that one piece of cushion. Yeah. Aside from Veronica Carlson, I like Madeline Smith. She was quite a good Hammer actress. Barbara Shelley, who sadly passed away, not too long ago. Barbara Shelley and Ingrid Piss, who played Countess Dracula, another one of my favourites in that. Yeah, oh yeah, I love the Hammer movies, yeah. And they were noted for having nice looking girls in them and that, as well as the lovely colour and the gothic setting and that. Oh yeah, very, very sad, but Veronica Carlson passed away. Brian Gilson. Thanks for answering my questions. I love your channel, as I am a big fan of Hammer films and 70s and 80s horror movies. Do you go to conventions? I did go to a convention a couple of years ago in Liverpool. I saw there was one of the guys in it who was in one of the Friday the 13th movies. He was on the panel. Yeah, and there's a couple of other ones I didn't really know. So yeah, so I went to that one a couple of years ago, but I believe they're having one. They're going to have another one, but it's going to be primarily a Comic Con in Liverpool, by the River Mersey, that big convention hall. So I might go along to that one. I know they're going to have one. They're having a Comic Con in Manchester as well, and they're going to have Lee Majors there and Lindsay Wagner, who was in the the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman. Yeah, they're going to be there. They've been to conventions before. Yeah, very, very nice people. Yeah. So, but I'd love them to do a real, full horror convention in Liverpool, and that I'd certainly be there. Yeah. Say that's the only convention I went to. Enjoyed it as well. Hi, Matt S. How many movies do you manage to watch per week? Oh, now you're asking. As many as I can when the telly's crap, which is most of the time. As I said to Pete before, a lot of rubbish on the telly now. He asked me what's my favourite TV show. I couldn't for the life of him think of what a current one that I really like. Most of the time, get the Blu-ray player, get the Blu-rays out or DVDs out and start watching movies. But I'd watch one nearly every night. Sometimes if the telly's crap right through, we watch two. We have a double bill, and it's not just horror. We watch like other movies as well. Musicals, the 70s comedies and that. I've got a lot of the 70s TV shows on box sets and that, on the buses. Man About the House. Yeah. So I love me movies. Hi, Stacey. Stacey's saying, do you like horror movies about creepy crawlies, for example, killer bees, snakes, and so on? I don't really like the creepy crawlies with spiders in and roaches. I don't like them. My mum hates them as well. So I only have to say to her, there's a movie on with a spider. Oh, don't show me that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm not too keen on myself, actually. But I can take snakes. I can take bees. I can take crabs, because I read the Night of the Crabs books in the 70s by Guy N. Smith. Yeah, I can take crabs, I can take octopuses, but I don't like spiders and I don't like cockroaches. And I'm not too keen on maggots. Yeah, rats. I can take rats. My mum hates them. There's actually a new horror movie made called if you've seen The Train to Busan, well, it's similar to that. Only instead of zombies, it's got rats in it, and it's called Rats on a Train. So if you go onto Amazon Germany and type in Rats on a Train, you'll see it come up. The Blu-ray. I think it's only about $8.99 and $9.99. Yeah, Rats on a Train. Yeah. I like the killer rat movies. Yeah, Willard as well. I like Willard. He had sort of like killer rats, and then he had Ben, which was the follow-up. It wasn't quite as horrific as Willard. I like the Willard movies. I saw the remake a few years ago. I think it was a Crispin Glover. That was quite good. Yeah, more CGI in that than the original in 1971. I think Willard was made. Yeah, more CGI obviously in the remake of Willard. But I don't mind a good creepy crawly, but I draw the line at cockroaches and spiders. Ugh, hate them. Oh, Leo's here. Hi, Leo. All right, mate. Thanks for popping in. The Geek Legion of Doom. Camera looks good. Is it a different one? It is, Leo. Yeah. It's a Logitech. Yeah. I've upgraded. Yeah, but I was using the internal one when I was last on. Well, as you remember, it didn't quite come up to scratch in that because it was jerking all over the place. The sound, pardon the expression. The picture was jerking and that, and the sound, So yeah, I really made up with this one. Yeah. Thanks for coming along. Anyway, Leo. Stephen Davis, do you buy Severin and Vinegar Syndrome releases? I do, yeah, but they can be very expensive. I've got a couple in my collection, but as I say, if you buy too many, before you know it, your bank balances starts to plummet. Yeah, love Severin, love Vinegar Syndrome, especially the slip covers. Yeah. Stephen Houghton. All right, Stephen. Have you seen The Skull? Great Peter Cushing movie. I own it, yeah. Watched it many, many times. Amicus production, I believe. Great movie. Yeah, Peter Cushing was fantastic in it. Christopher Lee was in it. Very, very creepy movie. Yeah, one of my favourites. Yeah, love The Skull. Based on a story by Robert Bloch, I believe. It's a skull of the Marcus de Sade. Yeah. Killer Elite Group fan, am I allowed an opinion? Well, whatever your opinion is, as long as it's not rude, you can voice it. Oh, Amanda's here from a Ghost House Films, isn't it? It's Ghost. Is it Ghost House Films? Yeah, Ghost Stock Films. Sorry, yeah. Hiya, Amanda. You okay? Yeah, thanks for popping along. Yeah, it really made up with your goodies and that. Yeah, thanks very much. And I'm going to do a review of that. You're going to do a review of those, you know, those items what you sent me in a future video. Yeah, great live stream, and thanks for the shout out for our movie. Oh yeah, I'm always happy to support, you know, people in that, people in the industry, fellow YouTubers and that. And I loved your Crucible of the Vampire. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. One of the best modern horror movies I've ever seen in that. And I believe some of the YouTubers are gonna get this as well, following me favourable review. Yeah, I love this movie. I'm definitely keeping it in my collection. Yeah, and being a great Hammer fan, you know, I absolutely loved it. You know, and I think I'll be watching it again in the near future. Yeah, thanks for coming along, and thanks again for sending those goodies. Yeah. Killer Elite Group fan, because Filmflix says I can't, and takes the Michael out of anyone who has a different opinion. Oh, I don't know about that. Everybody's entitled to that opinion. Please, no swearing on this channel. Hi, Alan. Just wanted to say hello. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hiya, Joanne, the Jude. Yeah, you okay? Thanks for popping along, mate. Yeah, great to see you. And hope you're enjoying it and that. Killer Elite Group fan. I'm sorry, but I hated when he had to go at me on street. Yeah, I'm not really into anything like that, please. So just talking about horror movies. So if there's anybody's bad mouth anybody, you know, I'm not interested anything like that at all, as I'll just terminate the channel. He did a stream a few weeks ago about I'm not interested. I don't really want to get into any rubbish like that at all, but thanks for coming on, but please keep it confined to talking about movies. I'm not interested in little altercations or, you know, pithy pathetic remarks like that. Peter Cushion. Hi, Alan. Has Brexit made any difference to your buying habits? I don't know. Don't really think about Brexit, mate, to be honest with you. The only thing I think about when I go into HMV or anywhere like that, look, all I'm interested in, any good movies there, whether it's from Britain, whether it's from America, whether it's a foreign movie, Brexit doesn't enter my mind at all. No, not at all. Who Alan was having a go. Peter, what's a question to ask Alan live? What is your favourite collector's edition you own? Oh, I've got quite a few. Yeah, I really have. Yeah, I've got some good indicator ones. Got a couple of Screen Factory ones. I haven't really got a particular favourite here piece. Yeah, so I've got quite a few in that, but yeah, I can't really name a particular favourite. Is there one film, Pete says, or box set you'd love to have in your collection? Just trying to think now. Is there one film or box set you'd love to have in your collection? Well, I'll tell you what, I would love a company like Arrow or Screen Factory or Indicator to do a box set of the Blind Dead movies. I've started to collect them from different foreign companies and that. I've got 3 of the 4. I've just got to get another one. But yeah, the Blind Dead. I'd love a company to do a Blind Dead special edition box set. That'd be great. That. I liked it. Obviously, the Halloween set that was released a few years ago is going for crazy money now, you know, and I would have loved to have got my hands on that, you know, and they might actually, well, I've heard Mermans are going to do a Nightmare on Elm Street, box set, you know, all the Freddy Krueger movies and that. Yeah, I must admit, I'm not really a big fan of all the movies in that franchise. I like the first one, well, the first 3. But after that, they went downhill for me. They started to put too much humour in. So, but yeah, it'd be nice to see a Nightmare on Elm Street box set. Yeah. Piece of cushion. Have you not the piece of cushion? This is piece of cushion asking what you sit on. Have you seen any of Cool Dude's Sean C. Phillips movies? Seems like a decent sort, but he's a terrible actor. I watch him all the time. Peter. Yeah, he has a good channel. I like it when he does this out and about. You know, he shows all his pickups. Yeah, good channel. Yeah, watch it regularly. Pete's asking me, who are some of your favourite current actors or actresses? Well, I like Naomi Watts. Yeah, I like her. I like Jerry Ryan. Yeah, she's good. Yeah. I like, just trying to think of the male ones now. I like the guy in Wolf Creek, John Jarvis. He's very good. He's a good actor. Yeah. Yeah, Tom Cruise is okay, but I'm not really, I must admit, I don't really collect, I'm not really a great fan of him, but he's okay. Yeah. Clint Eastwood, I know he's getting on a bit now, you know, but yeah, great actor, absolute legend. Trying to think, current actors, actresses. Yeah, as I say, I love Naomi Watts, love Jerry Ryan, John Jarvis. Well, of course, I do have a lot of favourite actors from, you know, the older horror movies, of course, of Boris Karloff, Christopher Lee. To be quite honest, not really all that many current actors and actresses are, you know, I like a few of them, but there's not many I'd really go crazy on, you know, say, oh, you know, fantastic and that, but they're the ones that immediately spring to mind, but you know what I've just said. Andy Howard says, all right, Andy, any ideas why horror movies seem to be so bad nowadays? I don't care about bad acting, but can't stand boring movies. Yeah, I take your point, Andy. Yeah, what I don't like about these modern horror movies is too many overused tropes in them. For instance, the American ones tend to put a lot of teenagers in them that they seem to be sort of like parallel each other, because a lot of them open up with they're in the car driving along and one of them swigging, or a couple of them are swigging, and one's talk, you know, going on about effing this, effing that, talking about sex and that. And, you know, the car's going to break down, they're going to be trapped in the woods. There's going to be some sort of deranged killer in the woods. They're going to get chased. One of them's going to fall over. One of them, they have a one-to-one fight, and you can guarantee, say one of the girls, it's the killer or psycho over the head. She's going to drop the weapon. She's going to step over his body. He's going to grab it. The monster's going to grab a bus. Same old tropes, you know, and I do not like, I'm going to tell you now, you know, I don't like found footage. I don't like it at all. The only real good found footage movie I can really get into is Creep. That's the one where this guy I think he's dying of cancer, and he wants to make a video to show to his son. And he asked this fella, this freelance video, he works in video and that, films and that, to make a home movie of his last couple of days. And that, he's very, very creepy, this guy who asked this photographer to his house and that. You know, that's a good one, Creepy. If you haven't seen that, you know, I highly recommend that one. They actually done a sequel to that, but it was a load of rubbish, you know. So yeah, I'm not a great fan of found footage. I think they've done a lot of harm to the horror genre, because many times I've picked the DVD up in HMV or Asda, and I haven't known, it hasn't said on the thing it's found footage. When I've got it home, I've just put it into my player. I said, this is bloody found footage, this, you know. So I pulled it out and put it on eBay. Yeah, don't like found footage. And I say, getting back to your question, why horror movies seem to be so bad nowadays, I think there's a lot of bad storytellers there. They don't know how to write. They don't know how to create a layered character. There's too many cardboard characters now used for cannon fodder in horror movies. You know, as I say about the teenagers, you know, cannon fodder. Sometimes, you know, they might tack on a, you know, cheesy ending, you know, at the end of a movie, where, for instance, like the heroine's in hospital recovering, and the nurse jumps up, happens to be a monster, or the doctor comes through the thing brandishing an axe, you know, and it's got no relation at all to what just happened in the movie, you know. Yeah. Oh, I like the, I must admit, there's not all that many. There's a handful I can really rave over now, but there's not all that many that I can say are classics, you know. Yeah, I think they need to get some better storytellers and better script writers. Yeah, and another thing I don't like about these modern horror movies, they're very, very dark. Half the time you can't see what the bloody hell's going on. You know, you think, what's he doing? Another thing as well, where they're in bed and they hear a noise downstairs, and he never switched the bloody lights on. You know, honestly, who's there? Stand at the top of the stairs. Who's there? And sometimes you don't really, like, when they're confronted by the creature or the psycho, they're not really frightened. I'm sure, you know, those of you who love horror movies, you'd agree with me on that. You get confronted by the monster, and they're not really frightened, you know. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's been some terrible, well, as I said before, some of the low budget movies have been awful, and that there's been some good ones as well, but I've watched a hell of a lot of crap, you know. Just get down to some more comments, guys. Stephen Davis, have you seen Squirm with the killer worms? And yeah, I think I saw that when I think I saw that many years ago. I didn't really like it because worms are a bit, a bit sickly for me, like cockroaches and spiders. Yeah, not my cup of tea. Killer Elite Group fan. I watched Ben the other day. Fantastic. Yeah, the sequel to The Rats. Yeah, good movie, Ben. And of course, we all remember the song Michael Jackson sang. Yeah, great movie, Ben. Killer Elite Group fan again. If Classic was here, he'd probably complain as people can't have an opinion. Not interested. Have you seen A Cellar Club with Calvin Munro? No. It's on Friday night, starting at 9 p.m. She introduces lots of Hammer films and Vincent Price movies. I'll have to check that out, Brian. Thanks for that. I like Carolyn Munro. Tony Crosby. Hi, Tony. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Good evening, Alan and people. Pleased to see it's going well, mate. Picking sound marbles. Oh, that's great. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, that's what Carl said before. Yeah. I was concerned, as I said before, when I first started, I was concerned that whether it turn out all right, and I'm very pleased to hear, both picture and sound quality is top class. Thanks. Brian Gilson, she is on Talking Pictures TV on Sky. Stephen Davis, Talking Pictures is the only decent channel, the only decent channel on TV. Gary North, good evening, everyone. Hiya, Gary. Thanks for popping by, mate. Nice to talk to you. Evening, Gary. Pete says, what are some of your favourite non-horror films? Well, I love the Clint Eastwood movies. I like the Death Wish movies starring Charles Bronson. They're very good. I like some of the Carry On movies. Oh, Mrs. Yeah, especially Carry On Camping, Carry On Doctor, like them. I also like the movie versions of some of the sitcoms like Man About the House and On the Buses. Love all On the Buses. Oh, I've got the trilogy of them. They're fantastic. Yeah. Blakey, I hate you, Butler, the Inspector. Oh, fantastic. George and Mildred. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of any other non-horror movies. Like I do watch the James Bond movies, Pete, but I'm not a huge fan of Bond. But my favourite Bond was Roger Moore and Sean Connery. After that, and Daniel Craig. I've only seen trailers of it, and really don't think it'd be my cup of tea. But I do prefer Moore and Connery as Bond. Just trying to think of any other non-horror movies. I like the odd disaster movie if it's good, well done, and that. Like the Towering Inferno. Not really into spy movies, Pete. I don't really go for them spy movies. And some of the romantic ones, I'm not really into them. The slushy ones, yeah. I would like a good war movie, like The Longest Day. That's a great one. And A Bridge Too Far, that was made in 1977, which was centered around the Battle of Arnhem. Love that one. I've got that on Blu-ray. Yeah, all the great cast and that, great British actors and that. Yeah, Bridge Too Far, like that. Like I say, like a good war movie. At the Japs, where they're fighting the Japs and that, and fighting the Germans and that. France and that, Normandy. Yeah. Leo's asking, have you ever fancied trying your hand in screenwriting or making a movie yourself? It's funny you should say that, Leo, because I've always wanted to write a screenplay, a horror one, of course. I've had a couple of books by Sid Field, who was supposed to be the leading authority on screenwriting, and he gives some good tips on how to lay out a screenplay and that. Oh, I'd love to write a horror movie. Yeah, love to write that. I know that, like, it's entirely different to writing a horror novel, because I think it's the average length of a screenplay, I think, is about 120 pages. Love to write a horror screenplay, and I'd actually like to. I would like to make a little horror movie myself, yeah, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'd try to find some way of doing it, but it most probably be very, very short one, because you've got to think of like budgets and that, getting actors and that. So yeah, I'd like to make a short horror movie in that, yeah. So I've got a couple of ideas like in the pipeline and that. So, and of course you can get these what's the names now, can't you, on these stock video sites. You can get the horror effects and that. Oh yeah, very much up in my mind. You know, yeah, those two things. Yeah, cheers. Stephen Houghton, have you read Brian Lumley Necrosop series? Yeah, I read the first one. I think it was in the early 90s, and I couldn't get into them, to be honest, Stephen. I know a lot of people liked them, but yeah, they just didn't seem like the kind of Dracula type vampires I prefer. They seem to be more like sci-fi creatures and that. Yeah, so yeah, it weren't really my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people do like them. Stephen Davis is asking me, do you like film noir? Yeah, I like a couple of them. Yeah, like Robert Mitchum and that, you know, people like that made these black and white movies and that, and the femme fatales, and yeah, they're okay. Yeah, but the story's got to be good. Yeah, just a swig of water, excuse me. Yeah, to go on till about 9:30, guys, if that's okay. Thanks for coming along anyway, really appreciate it. Peter Cushion says, I wish Hammer would reissue the House of Mystery Suspense TV series box sets. Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Peter. Yeah, I would love to see a Blu-ray release of the Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense, which was made, I think it was about 2 or 3 years after the Hammer House of Horror. Yeah, not horror stories, but they are. I've watched a couple on YouTube, and what I've watched, I've liked. Yeah, so if any company's watching, get these out on Blu-ray, because you know, they're very much neglected. And also a little Hammer series called Journey to the Unknown, which I think was made in 1969. It always opened up with, it used to creep me out when I used to watch as a kid, because it always opened up with this creepy fairground setting and that, you know, you'd see the big wheel and no one on it and that, and this creepy music. Oh yeah, fantastic series. Yeah, Journey to the Unknown. If you can try and watch some episodes on YouTube, but again, I'd like to see that, you know, and that's some great, see that on Blu-ray. Great stars in it as well, like Carol Lindley, Dennis Waterman, people like that. Oh yeah, fantastic series. Yeah, Journey to the Unknown. Yeah, so if any you know, producers are watching, you know, I'd love to see that. And of course, the Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense as well. Yeah. Hi Stacey, what are your favourite comedy films? Well, as I said before, I love On the Buses. I like a couple of Carry On movies. I like some of Norman Wisdom's as well. He's quite good. Yeah. George and Mildred. Yeah, I don't really go much on the silent comedies, you know, the Keystone Cops and Buster Keaton. I could never see myself, you know, collecting them. Yeah, I like Bob Hope, some of his comedy. I've got to mention Abbott and Costello. Oh, I think they're my favourite comedy duo, especially in the Abbott and Costello, me Frankenstein in 1948. That's my #1 comedy film. Do you know what, Stacey? I don't know how many times I've watched that. It's a fantastic. I don't know if you've ever seen it or Carl's seen it, but it's basically about the two, you know, the duo, the comic duo, meeting all the monsters: Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, and you know, the monsters play. If you haven't seen the movie, the monsters, they play it for real. You know, they really scare. You know, they play for scares. You know, they don't sort of like take the mickey. They don't come out with wisecracks like some of the Freddy Kruegers. They play it straight, and that provides a good counterbalance to the humour of Abbott and Costello. So if you haven't seen Abbott and Costello, Meet Frankenstein, I highly recommend it. You know, you watch it. It's a great movie. I like them at Abbott and Costello, Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's a good one as well. Boris Karloff plays Dr. Jekyll. Yeah, that's a good one. But oh yeah, I love them. Yeah, I like some of Lauren Hardy's movies. Yeah, they're very good in that. I like get a bit more later on. Anchorman. Like Anchorman. I wasn't too keen on the sequel, but yeah, you know, there's quite a few comedy films I like. Yeah. Oh, Peter Cushion, just regarding the Brexit question, I meant, has it affected your buying online? Not in the least. I don't even think about it, Peter, to be honest. Gary North says, what's your favourite Giallo film and director? My favourite Giallo film is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Fantastic movie. Yeah, as I said, got the poster here. There. Yeah, fantastic movie. Yeah, highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, you know, get yourself a copy, especially on Blu-ray. It's a fantastic movie. I can watch it anytime. Great story, great twist. And great. It's got the lovely Susie Kendall in as well, one of my all-time favorite female actresses. Yeah, and yeah, It's a fantastic movie. Yeah. Yeah, there's been other movies as well. You know, The Master Killer. The one where they're in the fashion house. I forget the name of it now. Oh, Blood and Black Lace. That's a good one. That's a good Giallo movie. I think that was made in 1960. Round about, I think it was about 1966 or 67. Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, there's been some great Giallo movies over the years and that. Oh, that's another good one. Torso, also starring Susie Kendall. That's a good one. Yeah, let's get a swig. But yeah, I love me Giallo movies. Yeah, as long as they're done well. San Yen, great live stream, Alan. Sorry I have to leave, but we'll catch up on the rest tomorrow. Oh, thanks very much, San. Yeah. Thanks for coming along and that. Yeah, I'll leave it on YouTube and that, so you know you can watch it whenever you want and that. Yeah, thanks. Brian Gilson, I agree, Stephen. Oh, thanks, Brian. Yeah, cheers, mate. Carl saying favorite scene in a horror movie, Alan. Favorite scene in a horror movie, Carl. Oh, there's been too many to mention. You know, I've seen that many horror movies, but one of my favorites, if it was pushed to name a particular one that stands, you know, I can say right away, the part where Lon Chaney Jr. in The Wolfman, he finally gets cured in the House of Dracula. You know, he suffered from the Wolfman curse all those years, and he gets this doctor to sort of like experiments on him, and the part where he finally, you know, he's been operated on and that, and they're all waiting with bated breath, you know, the doctor, the nurses and that, to see if it's worked and that. And when Talbot, he steps out into the moonlight and that, and the moon's rising up slowly, and he looks, it's the videos on YouTube, if you want to type in Wolfman's Cure, and you'll see it. And he slowly raises his head like that. When I first watched as a kid, I thought he was going to turn into a werewolf man again, because I thought, it's not going to work, the cure. And blow me, it does, yeah. And the look on Talbot's face when he realizes he's not changing into the Wolfman. Oh yeah, one of my all-time favorites scenes in a horror movie. And coming a bit further on to 1979, I would say, well, most horrific scene would be Alien, the chest burster. You know, John Hurt, where it comes out of his chest. Oh, one of the most gross out scenes in horror movie history. Oh yeah, there's loads. Yeah, Dracula's risen from the grave, where he falls down and he falls on the cross, and it comes right through his chest and that, and he's writhing in the forest and that, and his blood coming out of his eyes and his mouth and that. Oh yeah, and the Curse of the Werewolf, where Oliver Reed's locked in the cell with this other prisoner, and he doesn't know he's a werewolf, and the moon comes up. Oh, and he changes and that. Oh, terrifying and that. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's so many, Carl. Yeah, I'll actually do. I think I'll do it. I think I'll make a note of that and do have as a subject for me, you know, for a future video. You know, my 10 all-time favorite horror scenes. Yeah, good question. Pete's saying, who are some of your favorite directors? Well, I like Dario Argento, and some of the Hammer directors and that, you know, very good in that. Jimmy Sangster, Alfred Hitchcock. Oh, I think he's my number one, Alfred Hitchcock. So many good movies: Psycho, The Birds, Frenzy. You know, oh, fantastic director. Yeah, and he called him the master of suspense, didn't he? Yeah. Oh yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I don't think there'll ever be another Alfred Hitchcock. Wes Craven, I like him as well. Wes Craven. Favorite horror scene in the movie? Oh yes, just answered that one, didn't I? Yeah. Killer Elite Group fan, don't tell me off. I have opinion. It better not be another. Somebody's going to be banned from this stream. Hi, Carl. Alan, please could I ask, do you like long movies? I'm quite happy with a 90-minute movie like the old days. I like a long movie, Carl, providing the story's good. I mean, if the story falters, I'll switch off. You know, yeah, 90 minutes, you're right, it's a good length for a movie, yeah. But some of these movies, they do tend to drag on and on. For instance, Midsummer, I think they could have shortened that down to 90 minutes. I thought that was a bit too long. But I don't mind I don't mind a long movie, as long as, like, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a long movie, but I like it because the story's that good. There's so many twists and turns in it. you know, and as I said, when I first watched it in the mid 70s, I was completely enthralled, and so I got it today on 4K. So I'm really glad to own it on 4K. I'll be doing an unboxing of that in one of my next videos. But yeah, I don't mind a long movie as long as the story's good. Yeah, but you're right, 90 minutes is a good average length. Killer Elite Group fan. Since lockdowns, we've had Biggie's like metal. I'm not interested in talk like this. Keep the subjects confined to horror movies, please. Andy Howard, thanks for answering my question. You are right about the teens in horror movies. You should do this more often. You know your stuff about horror movies. Well, I'd like to think so. Haven't been a horror fan since I was knee high. Oh yeah, there are too many teenagers in these American horror movies, guys. You know, and it's always seems to be a common thread with American horror movies. Yeah, I do prefer the British horror movies. I mean, and that's not saying Americans make bad horror movies. They make some cracking ones, but I'm just saying. You know, I like that the British do seem to have made better horror movies than you know, the Americans, and that, especially of late. I'll say I've had some great little low budget British horror movies that I've liked to the extent that I've wanted to keep them in my collection. Yeah. A piece of cushion. I watched Mandy again recently. What a great looking film. So stylized. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, Peter. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, so I can't really. That's the one. That's the one with Nicolas Cage, isn't it? Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Hi, Amanda. From a filmmaker's perspective, it's really interesting to see everyone's thoughts on what they like about horror movies. Yeah, I agree with Amanda. That's the great thing about a live stream. Yeah, I've enjoyed it, Amanda. Yeah, and thanks for coming along. Yeah, I hope to do another one soon. Yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed talking about my favorite subject movies and that, especially horror. And I've got to compliment you again on the fantastic job you did with that Crucible of the Vampire. It's really good to sit down and watch a horror movie that's not silly like some of these stupid American, you know, these teenage ones and the American ones. Got a good solid story, great atmosphere, you know, the woodland and that, and the big Gothic house and that, and some good vampires and that, solid characters. You did a real good job there, Amanda, and really made up with what you sent me. And as I say, I'll be doing a full video unboxing of this. Yeah, I really appreciate you expressing an interest in it, and I agree with what you've just said. Yeah. Killer Elite Group and so many. Oh, not interested. Piece favorite Vincent Price films. Again, Peter, so many. I like Theatre of Blood. I like Dr. Fives, the first one. Wasn't too keen on the second one. I like him in The Fly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Witchfinder General was one of his best. Oh, he's real bad in that. Real badass he was. Matthew Hopkins, yeah. Oh, I've seen that movie quite a few times. And what makes that even more disturbing is the fact that it's actually based on a real character. Matthew Hopkins, yeah, the notorious Witchfinder General. Oh, he's great, Vincent Price, yeah. I like him in The House of the Long Shadows as well, where he's with the other horror legends, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Sheila Keith, you know, John Carradine. Oh, fantastic actor, Vincent Price, yeah. And he's very good. He's very interested in art as well, yeah. He knew a lot about art and that, you know. He had a lot of his pictures in galleries and that, you know. He loved his paintings and that, his art and that. I read the biography written by his daughter. It was very good, yeah. Vincent Price is one of my all-time favorites horror actors. Yeah, fantastic, yeah. Yeah, The Last Man on Earth, that was another good one. He always made some fantastic ones, especially for Roger Corman. You know, those type of movies and that. Yeah, fantastic. Oh yeah, still missing to this day. Stephen Davis. Speaking of found footage, have you watched Cannibal Holocaust? Yeah, I've watched it once. It was okay. Yeah, it was a bit graphic in parts and that. Yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't really rave over it and that, because as I say, I'm not really a big fan of found footage. No personal attacks, please, guys. Stephen Davis, do you like Blood on Satan's Claw starring Linda Hayden? Yeah, it's a great movie. I love Linda Hayden. Yeah, she was good in The Taste of Blood of Dracula and The House on Straw Hill. Very, very fine British actress. Yeah, lovely looking girl as well. Yeah, I love Blood on Satan's Claw. And I might do a review of that in a future video. Yeah, thanks for that, Stephen. Tasha UK. Hi, Alan. Hi, Tasha. Nice to have you along. Have you seen The Greasy Stranger? And that, I think you mean The Greasy Strangler. And did you like it? Yeah, I think I have seen that. Yeah, I don't think I was too keen on it, to be honest with you. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I think I saw it. Andy Howard, that fairground opening really scared me as a kid. On a Journey to the Unknown. Yeah, same here, Andy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, fantastic series. Yeah, just like the Hammer House of Horror from 1980. I wish, as I say, if any video Blu-ray DVD producers are watching this, do a Blu-ray box set of Journey to the Unknown, get the rights for it, and get it out on Blu-ray or at least DVD. It's a fantastic series. I would love to see, a Blu-ray box set of Journey to the Unknown. Yeah, the stories are fantastic, very reminiscent of the Hammer House of Horror, Roald Dahl's Tales of the Unexpected, thriller. Oh yeah, I'd love to see that series on Blu-ray or DVD. I'm not interested. Brian Gilson, I love Abbott and Costello. I love Abbott and Costello too, especially when they make Frankenstein and Dracula. Yeah, oh yeah, fantastic. Yeah, me number one favorite horror comedy movie of all time. If anybody on here hasn't seen it, I highly recommend that you check it out. It's a great movie. It's got all the Universal monsters in it. I can watch it anytime. And oh yeah, I think it's my favorite Abbott and Costello movie, to be honest with you. Great movie. I love the part as well where they're getting the call from Talbot and he's in London. Yeah, he's in London and he's on the phone and he's saying about the monsters in this Chamber of Horrors and that, the actual Dracula, the actual Frankenstein, and he's on the phone all exasperated and that, and the moon comes up and he starts changing and he looks out the window and he starts making the Wolfman noises and Luke Costello, don't you be making, can't remember his exact words. Now, if you're going to make dog noises to me, Mr. Talbot, I'm going to hang up on you. Oh, yeah, fantastic, yeah. Well, Costello thinks it's a dog, on the phone, but it's really the Wolfman Talbot and that. Oh, I love that movie, really do. Tony Crosby, hi, Tone. What's your go-to book for information on horror movies? Well, I love Jonathan Rigby's books. He's done a great trilogy. He's done like American Gothic. He's done English Gothic and he's done Italian Gothic. He knows his stuff when it comes to horror. If you're not familiar with Jonathan Rigby, go along and check his Facebook page out. He's always on a lot of the horror videos, in the extras, giving us comments, especially the Hammer films and that. So I love Jonathan Rigby's books, and I've got a big book of Universal monsters and that. I've got that one. I've got the Encyclopedia of Horror. That's another good one. So many, really. I've got the Dark Side special books and that, special spin-off books and that. They're great. Lovely coloured pictures on them. Oh, yeah. I've always collected books on horror movies, yeah. Great. Brian Gilson, I totally agree. Amanda Murray. Not interested. Any way to block this guy? Killer Elite Group fan, and yet you're the one complaining people were rude. Vincent, evening, Al. Great turnout tonight, mate. Thanks, Vince, mate. Yeah. It's a great pity there's a certain individual that seems to be straying from the theme of horror movies, uttering such utter gibberish. Piece of caution. Have you seen the Asphyx 1972? That's the one with Robert Powell in, where he sort of like tries to capture the spirits in a bottle and transfer it. I've seen that one. Yeah, Robert, it's a good movie. Yeah, Grace. That's to add that one to my collection. Well, guys, I think we'll go on. I think I'll stretch it till 10 o'clock and then that's it then, if that's okay with everybody. So I'm going to go downstairs and have some supper. I've enjoyed it anyway, yeah. But I say, I must repeat it. This is, you know, anybody wants to come on here and spout and crap, that will be banned. You know, I'm not going to tolerate this sort of thing on this channel. So if there's anybody coming on, you know, I apologize to the decent people on here that's had to put up with this, but I know other YouTubers have had it as well. So if any idiot comes on here spouting gibberish, I'm going to have to try and block them. So be warned, if any of you are thinking about coming out with crap, you won't be welcome on this channel. I'm telling you now. Oh, Hot Hands is here. All right, Bryn, mate. Yeah, nice to have you along. Yeah, we're going on till 10 o'clock. So, yeah, Grace, yeah, hope you've been watching some good horror movies lately. I'm looking forward to your next pickups video. Yeah, yeah, nice to have you along, Bryn. Yeah, thanks for coming. Killer Elite Group fan. I'm sorry, Alan. Just wanted people to know people's true colours. Yeah, an apology accepted. But, you know, in future, if you could just try, and I'm not really interested in, well, I'm not interested at all in personal disputes and grievances about YouTube behaviour. You know, I'm just going to blank that completely. All I'm on it, the only reason I'm on here tonight is to talk to me friends on YouTube about movies. I'm not interested in any other subject at all. Petty disputes, quarrelling. I'm not interested. I'll just blank it. So just keep it all confined to movies, please. Tony Crosby, Peter Cushing, one of favourites, The Asphyx. Yeah, good movie. Apology accepted. Carl, Alan's just gone 9:20 p.m. I know you're finishing soon. I'm watching till the end. Just wanted to say a massive well done. Very pleased for you. Oh, thanks very much, Carl, mate. Yeah. I'm going to go on till 10 o'clock because I've enjoyed it that much, apart from one or two unwanted comments. But yeah, I'm on till 10, Carl. Yeah, and I'm going to go down and get me some supper. Yeah. So yeah, great to have you along, you and Stacey. Yeah, I say I'm glad to hear you've enjoyed it, and I'm glad to hear that the audio and visuals are satisfactory. Yeah, thanks, Carl, mate. Tasha UK, hi Tash. Hi Alan, have you seen The Greasy Strangler? Yeah, I had that question before, Tasha. Yeah, I think I saw it a couple of years ago. I wasn't too keen on it. Hiya, Peace. A fantastic stream, Alan. You've done a superb job with your live stream. You're an absolute natural. Oh, thanks very much, Peace. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I must admit, when I first started, I was a little bit nervous about going, you know, doing one of my own, hosting it and that. So yeah, I'm glad you appreciate it anyway. And I'm really grateful to everybody that's turned up tonight. This is all new to me, this hosting my own live stream show, and I've watched you guys, obviously participated in yours, and I know how very, very well you guys do it. So I thought I'd have a go myself, and I'm really pleased that you're enjoying it. Yeah, thanks. Gary North, hiya Gary. Will you be seeing The Northman? Don't know too much about that movie. Is that a horror movie? Doesn't really ring a bell, The Northman. Vince, and do you watch Inside Number 9? The new series is on BBC Two at the moment. It's not always horror based, but some really unsettling stories. The one last night had a touch of The Wicker Man about it. No, I haven't seen that one, Vince. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, thanks for telling me about that. Anyway, and anything hinting about anything hinting about Wicker Man, you know, the Wicker Man is movie. Yeah, I'd be very interested. Oh, thanks for that piece. Yeah. Thanks very much. Thanks. Hi, Peace. I'll tell you about making mods afterwards, mate. Oh, thanks very much, Peace. Yeah, appreciate it. Michael Adson's here. Hiya, Michael. Yeah, hi, Alan. Big Ben has 4 faces. That's 3 more than Amanda Murray. Lost me there, mate. Favorite horror soundtrack? Oh, I love the Universal music soundtracks. You know, to the Frankenstein, the Wolfman, all those movies and that. I like that. I'll tell you what I do love. The soundtrack of the opening of Dracula, 1958. Oh, it's real dramatic and that, you know. And it shows you as the movie opens, this pounding beat and that, and it goes, the camera closes in on Dracula's castle, and you get blood trickling down on his name and that. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite soundtracks. If I just want to depart from horror for a moment, my favourite movie soundtrack is The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Oh, love that soundtrack by Ennio Morricone. Oh, loved. Oh, I think that's my favourite non-horror movie soundtrack. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Yeah. Geek Legion of Doom asked me what's for supper. I don't know yet, Leo. I'll have to see what's in the fridge. Yeah, probably end up with a cup of tea and a biscuit. Michael Adson, have you seen The Curious Case of the Mancunian? Don't know that one, Michael. Is it a horror? Leo, have you heard of a movie called The Sadness? It was so brutal, quite shocking, in fact. No, Leo, I haven't heard of that movie. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, and I hope to watch more of your videos as well. You know, because you do some great reviews on your channel and that. A lot of movies there. Well, I've never heard of. Yeah, so yeah, I'll have to check that one out. The Sadness. Thanks for that. Brian Gilson, all right, Brian. You've done really well. It's a great stream. Do you remember Dr. Terror? He was a horror host that was on the BBC in the early 90s. Dr. Terror, it rings a vague bell. But I do remember Dr. Terror's House of Horrors with Peter Cushing, but obviously that's not the one you mean. It's this Dr. Terror from the 90s. Vaguely, it rings a vague bell. Yeah. Was he any good? Something like Elvira hosting horror movies. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Oh, by any fans of her on here? Rob Gray. Hiya, Rob. Hi, Alan. Do you think we'll ever get any Hammer films on 4K? Good point. I hope so. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Love to see Dracula on 4K and the Frankenstein movies. You never know. Screen Factory are doing a good job at the moment. So we're releasing all the Hammer films on Blu-rays, you know, special editions, and the picture quality is fantastic. I've got quite a few of them there. I've got Evil Frankenstein among them. Evil Frankenstein, Dracula, Prince of Darkness, you know, the Vampire Lovers and that. They're doing a great job, Screen Factory, with these Hammer reissues and lovely slipcovers as well. Yeah, fingers crossed. They might get some 4K Hammer releases soon. You never know. Thomas Pearson. Hi, Thomas. Hope you're well. Yeah, hi, Alan. Missed the live stream, but we'll catch up later. Great picture and audio, very clear. Oh, that's great, yeah. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. As I said to Carl before, it's great. Having a new camera, it seems to have made a big difference to the last time I ventured to dip my toe into the water of live streaming. So I've made a wise purchase here. Yeah, I always like to know how I'm coming over, you know, to YouTubers. So if there's any faults at all, let me know. You know, even a minor faults, you know, what you think needs correcting, let me know and I'll correct it. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Next, Tony Crosby. The Amicus and Hammer soundtracks are also great, and Dr. Fives and A Theatre of Blood. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that adds that little bit of icing on the cake when you get a good horror movie and it's got an equally good soundtrack. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. What's your favorite snack while watching movies? Well, the same as Dracula's, a steak. No, I'm only joking. Favorite snack? I don't really have a favorite snack while I'm watching movies. I wouldn't watch. I don't think I'd watch a creepy crawly movie while I was having my dinner, especially one with spiders and cockroaches. Oh no way. Kermit Scouser say, all right, Al. Thanks for dropping by, mate. It's great to see you. Yeah, and I'm glad to see you back on YouTube. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Alan's asking, I'll watch this tomorrow as I've missed most of it. Sorry. Oh, yeah, so that's great, Alan. No problem. I'll leave it on, yeah. So I hope to do another one soon anyway. So, yeah, thanks for dropping by anyway, Al. Brian Gilson. Hiya, Brian. The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires has a good soundtrack. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie for some years now. I can't remember the soundtrack, but yeah, it wasn't really one of my favourite Hammer films and that. But yeah, I take your point about you know the soundtrack. Yeah. Hi, Stacey. Great job on your first live stream. Enjoyed watching, but I have to get up early, so going to bed shortly. Oh, thanks very much, Stacey. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Thanks to Carl as well. And I hope to do another one, you know, in the near future. So if you want to drop by again, oh yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, Stace. Leo, Geek Legion of Doom, John Carpenter's soundtracks for me. Oh yeah, Halloween. Oh, absolutely love the soundtrack of that. Oh yeah. John Carpenter's classic from 1978. Oh yeah, one of my all-time favorites. See, you get people ask you questions, and then you think, oh, that one, and then you think of another one, and then you think of another one. So, oh, I should have said Halloween. Yeah, Halloween. That's right up there in my all-time favorite soundtracks. Yeah, thanks for that, Leo. Great soundtrack, very haunting score. Brian Gilson, his soundtracks are amazing. Geek legend. Michael Adson, have you seen the YouTube channel called Creature Features? Plays some classic horror movies. I think I've seen that Creature Features. Yeah. If it's the same one, they have a lot of the black and white movies on it, like Creature from the Black Lagoon and The Shrews and that, and yeah, movies like that. I think I've seen that one. Yeah. All right, Al. Yeah. Oh, thanks, mate. I'll stay till the end. Cheers, Al. Piece of cushion. What about Virgin Witch? There's an Mrs. Film recommended to a fan of Vicky Michelle. I've got it in my collection. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Some more comments. Yes, I've really enjoyed doing this live stream, guys. Yeah, and thanks again for turning up, and that really appreciate it. And that, and as I hope to be doing some new videos like over the next couple of weeks and that. And especially going to do one Amanda, the goodies what she sent me and that, you know, really made up with them. So I'll be doing a full video of those of the posters and the book and that very soon. Yeah. Tony Crosby. Have to go, mate, but well done, great stream. Oh, you're welcome, Tone. Yeah, thanks for coming along, mate. I've really enjoyed talking to you and all the rest of the guys and that. Yeah, yeah. Thanks very much. Speak soon. Thanks. The Big John 36 Wicker Man soundtrack is one of my favorites. Yeah, some good folk songs and that as well. Yeah. Oh, Wicker Man's one of my all-time favorites horror movies, no question. I absolutely loved that movie. Wasn't too keen on the Nicolas Cage remake, but I loved the original Wicker Man starring Christopher Lee as Lord Summer Isle. He was really on the money playing that role. And Edward Woodward as Sergeant Howie going to the island, that looking for the girl and that. And oh yeah, and what a sad ending. Yeah, absolute classic, The Wicker Man. Leo's asking me, do you prefer gory or spooky? I like regardless of whether it's gory or spooky, Leo, as long as it's got a good story, that'll be number one for me. You know, I've watched a lot of old horror movies that there's been no gore in them, but it's had such a gripping storyline, you know. I mean, like a lot of horror movies put a lot of gore in just for gore's sake, and they don't really bother. They don't really seem to pay much attention to creating a good, strong storyline, if you know what I mean. Hammer done it well with the gore and that, you know, they had the good story, and they had the blood and gore with the vampires when he got staked, and Christopher Lee with the blood coming out of his mouth, you know, Dracula. They got the balance right, but there's a lot of horror movies that don't. They either put too much gore in, or they don't put enough gore in, and sometimes like they put a lot of gore in, but the story's crap. You know, so if you know what I mean. So I don't mind really. I like a good ghost story as well. I don't mind the lack of blood and gore as long as it's well told. Like M.R. James's stories, like that's shown at Christmas Eve, a ghost story for Christmas. A lot of them are quite good, you know, and the likes of the, you know, going on to the other TV series like Roald Dahl, Tales of the Unexpected, no gore in them, but the stories are well told and that. And you've got like Thriller, the Brian Clemens series from the early 70s, you know, again, no gore, but great storylines. And that's what's important to me. As long whether it's a spooky movie or a gory movie, it doesn't matter. The story is what counts. You know, you can have loads of gore in a movie and have people getting killed every 5 minutes, but the story's rubbish and the characters are cardboard, it doesn't work. You know, it's like a lot of these movies when they put a lot of special effects in. You know, you can a lot of the Marvel movies, they put a lot of special effects in, but sometimes the story, it's not commensurate with the, you know, with the special effects, and they're just putting the special effects. I'll give another example of a movie that I thought was ruined, a spooky movie that was ruined for me by cheesy special effects. The one with Catherine Zeta-Jones in, The Haunted, I think it was made in, was it the early 90s, 1998? Yeah, I didn't like that. I thought the atmosphere was good, but I didn't like the cheesy special effects. You know, the things coming to life and that on the bedposts and that. I thought that was a bit overdone, and that was a bit cheesy. You know, but the original Haunting, the black and white one with Richard Johnston in, I loved that one. Very atmospheric movie. Hill House, based on the Shirley Jackson novel. I loved that movie. Now that again, that's another good example, Leo, of a horror movie with no gore in, but strong in atmosphere, strong in story, characters, good solid characters, and a plot that has your grips at the end. Yeah. So getting back to your question, do I prefer gory or spooky? You know, the story's more important. I can watch a movie full of gore as long as the story's good. I like it. But on the flip side of the coin, you know, the spooky, you know, it doesn't matter if there's not even a second of gore in. As long as the story's good, that's all that matters. Yeah, good question. Brian Gilson saying, I prefer spooky as an atmosphere. Yeah. A lot of horror movies have been made, ghost movies that have good atmosphere. Yeah. The Fog or Salem's Lot? Salem's Lot, definitely. Although, getting back to The Fog, I do love James Herbert's novel that was written in 1975. So many horrific scenes in that, but a good story. But I do not like John Carpenter's The Fog, the pirates and that. I thought it was very slow and boring, and I know I'm not alone in that opinion. Peter Cushing. I got the soundtrack to Satan's Slave, 1976. Good film, on LP, cheap on eBay last year. Some sleeve damage, but the record is perfect. Seems to be a batch of them out there. Cool soundtrack, yeah. Rob Gray. All right, Rob. How do you store your movie collection? Would love to see a video on it. Well, at the moment, Rob, as I said before, I've got to get another storage unit because the shelves I've got at the moment are crammed. They're brimming over with Blu-rays and DVDs, and some of them are up, and some of them are sort of like lying flat. So I've got to get another storage unit because I like to store all my DVDs like books. I don't like to store them lying flat, if you know what I mean. So, as I said before, if anybody knows of a company that does ready-made, you know, storage units, let me know. I'd be very grateful. But I put all my Blu-rays and DVDs according to franchise. So, for instance, all the Hammer films are all together, the Studio Canal, and then I've got all my other films like The Ring and that, they're all together. And if you've got like varied films, but they're all under the same label, like Criterion, I put all my Criterions together, if you know what I mean, and all my Arrows are all together. So I like to see them all spines, all sort of like, you know, at uniform and that, yeah. Mike Random Bids. All right, Mike. Hi, Alan. What about the film Christine? Great movie, directed by John Carpenter. Do you like the movie and soundtrack? I do. Great live stream, good quality and sound excellence. Oh, thanks very much, Mike. Yeah, again, I'm glad to hear it, and I'm glad it's gone well. It hasn't gone down the pan. You know, it hasn't gone down the pan, which I was worried about. A couple of teething problems, I must admit, you know. So, you know, for apologies to anybody for forgotten one or two things and that. You know, just it's my first time and that. So, you know, you've got to sort of like there's so many aspects of the horror genre. You know, you can say, somebody could ask you, what's your favorite horror movie? You say what? The 1950s, and you can say, but then you can think of another one. But I'm sure you YouTubers know what I mean. Another one pops into your head. Oh, I should have said that. You know, so you put on the spot. You think of something right away. Then you think of another one. Then you think of another one. Then you think of another one. You know what I mean, don't you? But yeah, thanks, Mike. Yeah, Christine's a fantastic movie. I've got it on 4K. I love the novel as well, which is even creepier than the movie. But I love both. Oh yeah, the haunted car and that. Talking about haunted cars, I've got a little suggestion for you all. And I don't know if you heard about, I mentioned it before, Brian Clemence's Thriller, which was first screened in the early 70s. There's a great little story in that, very, very similar to Christine, called, it stars Donna Mills, the blonde girl, the blonde American actress, and it's called One Deadly Owner. Now, it's very similar to Christine, and she's a model, and she buys this big white Rolls Royce, but she doesn't know there was a murder. There was a murder committed in years ago, and I don't want to give too much away about it, but she buys this car and she starts experiencing all these strange things and that. But yeah, so if you get the Thriller TV series on DVD, it's not available, unfortunately, on Blu-ray. But if you get the Thriller, check out One Deadly Owner, starring Donna Mills. It's a fantastic haunted car story. I absolutely love it. I've watched it many, many times. Oh yeah, I love the haunted vehicle stories, and I love Christine. Yeah. Thanks for your question. Pizza Cushion. There's a good 90s horror I would recommend. The Addiction, 1995, directed by Abel Ferrara. I haven't seen that one, Peter, to be honest. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. Thanks for letting me know about that. We'll go on for another 10 minutes then, guys, if that's okay. Thanks again, guys, for turning up. Yeah, I could have gone on all night, but I've got to nip downstairs to get me supper. Yeah, so yes, so I've really enjoyed it, and keep your comments coming. It's anything last minute questions you want to ask me. I'm here for 10 minutes, so get your questions in. I love horror. Ask me anything at all. You know, I could talk till the cows come home about horror movies. Yeah, or most of me, most of me, a good part of my family like horror movies as well. So my dad, God rest his soul, he was a big horror movie fan. My mum loves horror movies and that, and a couple of my other relatives like horror movies and that. Oh yeah, I could talk about it till the cows come home. And being a horror writer as well myself, I love writing horror stories and that. And as I say, one of asked me, I think it was Leo asked me before, ever thought about writing a screenplay or acting, being in a horror movie. So yeah, it's very, very in me, uppermost in my mind. Yeah, so I'd love to write a horror movie. I really would. Yeah, with a good story in that. Yeah, so you never know, it might come to fruition one day. I got a couple of comments now. Brian Gilson, have you seen Madhouse with Peter Cushing? I've got it in my collection. Vincent Price is in it as well. He plays this horror actor, doesn't he? Yeah. Is it Paul Toombs? I think his name's Paul Toombs. I love Madhouse. Yeah, 1974. Oh yeah, great twist at the end. Yeah, and also stars the guy who took off Count Yorga, if my memory serves me correct. Is it Robert Quarry? Yeah, I think he's in it as well. Yeah, Peter Cushing and Vincent Price. Yeah, and Linda Hayden. Yeah, I haven't watched it for a while, but if my memory serves me correct, I think Linda Hayden's in it. She gets killed off near the beginning of the movie. Yeah, I love Madhouse. Yeah, it's a great movie. Mike Random Vids, Spookies is another horror film. It's pretty good, as well as a suggestion. Yeah, I saw that. I think it's sort of about a year or two ago. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah, horror comedy. Yeah, good special effects. Hi, Leo. Favorite subgenre? i.e., ghost, zombies, slashes, etc. Favorite subgenre? Oh, I've got many favorite subgenres. I like a good ghost movie, a good zombie movie when it's well done. I like creature features. Again, when they're well done. Love me vampire movies, but I don't like the slushy vampires like Twilight. No, don't like them at all. But when you talk Crucible, when you talk Ingrid Pitt, when you even talk Count Yorga, yeah, great number ones. Them for me, they really hit the mark for me. Trying to think of other subgenres. Excuse me. I like a good slasher movie. Yeah, like good sci-fi horror, like Alien. Although I'm not really a huge science fiction fan, but Alien is my favorite horror sci-fi. Yeah, so yeah, good question. Yeah, thanks. Chestnut 70. Yeah. Hi, Alan. Sorry I'm late. I fell asleep. No worries, mate. Yeah, come anytime you want. Rob Gray. All right, Rob. What do you think of Hammer's Plague of the Zombies? Love it. I think it's probably the best zombie film for me. Yeah. 10 out of 10. Not too much score, but very well done. Yeah, I agree with you, Rob. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Yeah, especially the part where the dream sequence where he has that dream and they're coming out the ground and that. God, when I watched that when I was about, must have been about what? Was it 9 or 10? Oh, It put the willies up me, you know, it really did. Yeah. Oh, fantastic movie. I love John Carson in it as well. He's a great actor, John Carson. I loved him in Taste of Blood and Dracula as well. Very, very fine British actor. Yeah, I love Plague of the Zombies. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Hammer do more of them. Yeah, it's just like the werewolf films. He didn't do any other werewolf movies apart from Curse of the Werewolf or Oliver Reed, which is a great movie. Yeah, I love Plague of the Zombies. I piece. Have you seen Corruption? Piece of Cushion? Yeah, I've got it in my collection and I love it. Yeah. Oh yeah, he'd do anything in that movie, wouldn't he? To make his, you know, his wife. What you got? The thing fell on her, the lights and that, and it burnt all her face. He stopped at nothing. You know, he stopped at nothing to sort of like try and repair her face and that. Oh, it's a great movie. Yeah. And the part where there was one or two scenes there. Of course, out of that, when he cuts I think it's a prostitute's head off. Yeah, well, that was put it. The one I've got, that was put the version I've got. They put that scene back in. Oh yeah, Piece of Cushion. He's a real villain in that. Yeah, I love Corruption. Yeah, it's a great movie. And talking of Piece of Cushion, not the Piece of Cushion. ITV4 is good for the old British TV shows. I love, yeah. And what's the mess? I haven't watched ITV4 much, so take your points, yeah. Brian Gilson, hiya, Brian. Events Horizon is a great sci-fi horror. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment. I'll have to watch that. Chestnut 7, Plague of the Zombies is one of my favourites Hammer films. Yeah, here. Gary Page, hiya, Gary. Sorry, Alan, I've arrived late. Your best Argento and Fulci films. Well, as I said before, I love Suspiria, the bird with the crystal plumage. Lucio Fulci. Didn't he do The House by the Cemetery? Yeah, well, yeah, The House by the Cemetery. Yeah, sometimes I get mixed up with some of these Italian directors. You know, you think, oh no, Barber did that. No, Fulci did that. But yeah, I love Dario Argento. I love Lucio Fulci, Mario Bava. Yeah, but then sometimes this is a common thing with some people. They can get mixed up with the Italian directors. I mean, you think Argento done one film, but he actually done another. And Fulci, you think he done one film, but he actually done another. So it's very easy to get mixed up with these Italian because there's so many of them. But yeah, good question. Thanks. Oh yeah, I love Michael Ripper. Very much a staple of Hammer movies. Yeah, whether he played a barman, whether he played a village, somebody who lived in the village and that. Oh, he's fantastic, Michael Ripper. He was such a big part of Hammer movies, wasn't he? He always made a good guest appearance in that. A very, very good actor, Michael Ripper, one of the best. Piece of Cushion, love all those old shows. I was born in the mid-70s, so I missed them first time around. Yeah. Well, watching the likes of ITV4 and other channels, you can catch up on all them, because I know Man About the House was repeated a few years ago on one of the channels, and I watched it again because I love Man About the House. Robin, sharing the flat with the two girls. But I love Jo. She was my favourite girl. Sally Thompson's. Beyond the question. So he always wondered, why? Because usually when they do anything like that, the main protagonist, the male, he always goes for the blonde girl. But in this one, they done something a little bit different and made him go for Chrissy, the dark girl. But Jo was my favourite, Sally Thompson. And I would have liked to have seen Robin end up with Jo, because if you remember, if you've watched Man About the House, Chrissy married his brother, Robin's brother, Nick Chrissy, off and right under his nose. And of course, he was feeling very sad and deflated. But I thought to myself, he should have paired him off with Jo. But then again, Richard O'Sullivan, the character, went into Robin's nest, and he ended up with Tessa Wyeth, if you remember. Yeah, but yeah, love Man About the House. Yeah. A couple of minutes to go, guys. Yeah, so if you want to get your last couple of questions in, you've got a couple of minutes. Yeah, I've enjoyed it anyway. Thanks, everybody, for turning up. Yeah, I hope to do it again soon. Piece of Cushion, love the carry-ons and on the buses as well. Yeah. I was born in the wrong decade. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hope to do a review of Carry On Screaming, because that's my favourite. Or being a horror fan, that's my favourite Carry On movie. Yeah. Odd Bod and that, and the girl with there's a Fennell Fielding and the tight red dress and that. Oh God, attracted a lot of male fans, that movie, guys. Yeah. And I love the Harry H. Corbett. Especially when he turned into the Hyde character and that. Yeah, it's a great movie, that Carry On Screaming. Frying Tonight. Kenneth Williams. Yeah. Oh, it's great. Yeah, I love that one. Oh, Brian Gilson, hi, Brian. Which film do you prefer, The Haunting or The Legend of Hell House? You're talking about The Legend of Hell House with Roddy McDowall, aren't you? So about 1973. I love both. Yeah, I love both of them. I love the original Haunting with Richard Johnson, and I love The Legend of Hell House. Yeah, Gail Honeycutt is in The Legend of Hell House with Roddy McDowall. Yeah, the part where the one of the main investigator, he has this machine, doesn't he? And he sets it up in the house and explodes into his space. Oh, when I first watched that, when I was younger, that really creeped me out. That, and where Gail Honeycutt gets possessed in that, and she tries to seduce Roddy McDowall. That's a fantastic movie, that, based on the Hell House by Richard Matheson, the original novel, which I've got in my collection. Yeah. So I'm going to round it up in a minute, guys. So again, thanks very much for coming along and that. And I'll keep it on anyway on YouTube, so you can watch it again if you want to. Obviously, those who've missed it, they can watch it now. So I like to think I've done a good job anyway. And apologise for any sort of like transient misdemeanors in regards to personal attacks. I don't want that sort of thing on my channel. And the minute I sniff that, it'll be taken off. So apart from that, I think it's gone very, very well, and I'm sure all you guys, you've enjoyed yourselves in that debut tonight. I'll say I was nervous and that, a couple of teething problems, as you might have gathered at the beginning of the video, but as I go on doing these, I hope to iron them out, and I will do one again, and hopefully next time I'll invite a couple of guests on, so you'll hear from me, whenever, when I'm going to do it. I'll give you notice, and invite you on. Yeah, but thanks again, guys. I've really enjoyed it and that, and take care, and thanks again for turning up. Really appreciate it, and all going well. I'll talk to you all again soon. Good night.